Welcome to the part 3 of the Sardine Run Chronicles. In this episode, as usual, we shall commence our adventure from the captivating shores of Port St. John's, South Africa. In this episode, we shall delve into the world of dolphins. And dolphins are just like us. They're mammals and must breathe air. This means that they have to surface every 8 to 10 minutes to breathe. They breathe through the nostrils, called a blowhole, located right on the top of their heads. Dolphins are incredibly social creatures, often forming tight-knit groups called pods. Within these pods, they communicate using various sounds and gestures, helping them coordinate activities such as hunting and navigating. Social bonds among dolphins are strong, with individuals displaying empathy and cooperation towards one another. Older, more experienced dolphins often take on leadership roles within the pod, guiding younger members. Overall, dolphins' social life are intricate and play a crucial role in their survival and well-being. This curious bottlenose dolphin showcases its remarkable ability to blow bubbles and whistle underwater. Although numerous dolphin vocalization mimics whistles, studies suggest that these sounds arise from tissue vibration, similar to vocal fold mechanism observed in humans. These are the dolphins you'll most commonly encounter during the sardine run: the short-beaked and the long-beaked common dolphins. These dolphins are very similar, and scientists have debated for the last century on whether or not they belong to the same species. It appeared that they had different habitats. Long-beaked common dolphins apparently favored the shallower coastal waters, while their short-beaked cousins preferred the deeper offshore regions. I, for one, have a really hard time distinguishing between them, but these dolphins can be identified by their distinctive dark gray cape that extends along the back, creating the characteristic hourglass image on their sides. In this picture, I notice that the dolphin closer to me has a shorter beak compared to that of the one further away. In this sequence of pictures, I observed that the dolphins appear to have longer beaks. The latest research from 2015 shows that the short and the long-beaked morphotypes occur in sympatry, a term that means they coexist within the same geographical range. Therefore, the debate has been mostly put to rest, and both subgroups of South African common dolphins are classified as a single species, the common dolphin. A study conducted in 2019 suggests that the long-beaked ecotypes have evolved multiple times from the short-beaked ecotypes. This indicates that they are geographically limited subgroups of dolphins rather than distinct species. This finding corroborates the results of the 2015 study. Let's move on and talk about the things that make dolphins really interesting in their behavior. Bubble netting. This is a sophisticated feeding behavior exhibited primarily amongst the members of certain species of whales, such as the humpbacked whales, the Brilliance whales, as well as the common dolphins. In this picture, you can see the wall of bubbles behind the sardines. This technique involves a coordinated effort amongst the pod members to corral and concentrate the prey within a confined area using the curtain of bubbles. As you can see in these videos, The fish seem to be scared of the bubbles and do not cross the barriers created by the dolphins. Additionally, the fish have been driven up to the surface, cutting off all the routes of escape. Through synchronized swimming and bubble release, these dolphins create a barrier that confines the prey, making it easier for them to capture and consume the food. In the first part of our journey, we have explored the intricate world of bubble netting. Now, in the second part, let's delve into the captivating sonar conundrum faced by the dolphins in their underwater domain. Remember that we witnessed the dolphins blowing bubbles, and the bubbles naturally rise towards the surface. This will come in handy soon. Now let's explore echolocation. Echolocation, also known as biosonar, enables animals like dolphins to see and navigate using sound waves, much like how humans use sonar on a submarine. It's important to note that the echolocation is not exclusive to dolphins. Other animals, such as bats and some whales, also rely on it for navigation and hunting. Basic principle involves emitting sound pulses and analyzing the returning echoes from various objects in the environment to orient oneself in space. In order to comprehend how dolphins utilize echolocation, it is essential to gain insight into their anatomy. We now focus on a region of the forehead called the melon, a distinctive feature found in all toothed whales, including dolphins. Composed of adipose tissue in the forehead region, this specialized organ acts as a sound amplifier. Located between the blowhole and the tip of the snout, the melon plays a crucial role in focusing and amplifying sounds used in echolocation. Now transitioning from the transmitter to the receiver. The jaws assume a critical role in the dolphin's echolocation system. From the jaws, dental vibrations are conveyed to the brain via specialized nerves. Furthermore, the jaws house specialized fat deposits termed the acoustic fat, which aid in the transmission of sound waves to the inner ear. Now let's explore the fascinating world of dolphin ears. Finely honed through evolution for underwater hearing, unlike land mammals, dolphins lack outer ears. Yet they possess a sophisticated system where sound travels through fat and bones to reach their inner ears. Equipped with more cells for hearing and large nerves compared to land mammals, dolphins have evolved to excel at underwater hearing. And finally, the brain. Dolphins' brain weigh between 1,500 and 1,700 grams, slightly larger than that of the humans and about 4 times the size of the chimpanzees. Their remarkable cognitive abilities, notably in fishing and communication with their pod members, result from their sophisticated auditory system crucial for echolocation. Recent studies found distinctive thalamic regions linked to visual and auditory cortex in the temporal lobe, similar to that of the terrestrial mammals. These findings greatly enhance our understanding of dolphin brain structure and functions. So, now that we understand what echolocation is, and how dolphins make it happen, let's get back to the problem of the sonar conundrum. Remember how they use bubble netting to hunt? When investigating bubble dynamics, a problem emerges. Air bubbles rise due to their lower density compared to that of the water. As the bubble ascends, the decreasing water pressure causes the gas inside to expand. Eventually, these bubbles burst, releasing gas into smaller bubbles that also rise and burst. However, when we look at the sound waves interacting with the bubbles, we see that the sound waves cause the bubbles to bounce and change in size. Strong sound waves can even cause the bubbles to burst, generating a shock wave in the water. This phenomenon, known as the acoustic cavitation, can be noisy, posing serious challenges for the animals using echolocation. We now know the bubbles are seriously bad, especially if you are into the business of echolocation. But then one wonders, why would the dolphins use this bubble netting if it makes them almost blind in the murky blue waters of the ocean? Well, the dolphins do have a special trick up their sleeve. But here's the trick. The dolphins unleash a deafeningly loud sound, and within a mere 50 milliseconds, they emit another, but this time half as intense as the first one. As these waves speed through the water at 1,500 meters per second, they collide with the bubbles and the fish, reverberating with all their echoes, which in turn are picked up by the jaws and rendered to the brain. And here's the clever part. The dolphin's brain seamlessly blends these two signals, rendering the underwater world as clear as daylight. To add a human perspective to this scenario, picture yourself in the savannah, seated in front of flickering flames of a bonfire, when you suddenly glimpse the fireflies fluttering behind the fire. This is because your brain is good at sorting the flickering patterns of light and tell you which is a firefly and which is the fire. Kinda cool, isn't it? Up to this point, we witnessed how the common dolphins diligently bring the sardines to the surface, utilizing bubble netting and echolocation, even amidst the pesky bubbles. However, all this commotion doesn't go unnoticed in the ocean. This activity entices other opportunistic predators such as the cape gannets and the sharks to join in on the feast. But make no mistake, catching the sardine is still no easy task. Both these birds and sharks have specialized adaptation to ensure they earn their fair share. And just about a decade ago, researchers drew inspiration from the dolphins to develop sonar tricks for detecting targets in challenging environments. In the upcoming episodes, we shall delve into the adaptations of both the gannets and the sharks. But for now, let's witness the Sardine Run in action, amidst the backdrop of echoing calls from the dolphins, the birds, and the humpbacked whales.
you.